don't know.
That was good, Joe.
Michael Schwartz.
It's not Michael.
It's no Michael Schwartz.
All right. Well, hey, we have got enough signatures to recall Mr. Newsom, but who's going to take his place? Well, we have somebody in studio today that thinks it should be him. San Diego's Joseph Luciano is making a run to replace Gavin. This is going to be a great show. By the way, this segment is sponsored by John Dillon and the Dillon Law Group. And if you have legal matters that involve firearms that you need to call an attorney, it would be John Dillon. If you have questions about red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you need to know that your guns are California compliant, call our trusted firearms attorney, John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws. Call 760-642-7150 or visit his website at DillonLawGP.com. Also, tune in to the YouTube live stream at youtube.com/Gun Owners Radio because you will be in for a treat. You will see Joe, Melissa, Ursula Williams, Gail, and Joseph. And where's Amy? Is there an Amy? I guess there's not an Amy.
It might be too early for Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can't see her if she's not in here. But that's okay. Hey, we have got a great show lined up for you. And the topic will be Joseph Luciano. He's in studio with Gail Blatt. Gail's not talking. She's just going to wear headphones. And she's got her own show, so she doesn't need to know about it. Joe, it's on you.
Okay, so it's on me. So, Joseph, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So, we will be successful in recalling Gavin Newsom. So,
Absolutely.
Joseph, you're one of the people that may end up replacing him. So, what can you tell folks about yourself? Who is Joseph Luciano?
Joseph Luciano. I am a 35-year-old father of two, former business owner, former business operator. I currently am running for governor of California. I'm on the ballot for 2022. I'm finishing up the paperwork to get on the ballot for 2021. And I am running for governor because I don't see anybody else up there who's really sincerely trying to do the job that I think we, the people, need to have done right now. I don't see anybody up there who's running for the reasons that the recall even took place. The heart of my campaign is a Ronald Reagan quote. Some of the scariest words in the English language are I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I'm not from the government and I'm here to empower you to help yourself because that is a problem with our state right now, in my opinion. The government has its hands in too many cookie jars. We, the people, are what make the state great, and right now the government is choking us off. So I'm here to stand up for us, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, and that's great because, I was going to ask you what set you apart from all the others because there's going to be a host of people from the more legitimate ones like Kevin Faulconer and John Cox and those people,
Yep.
all the way out to the crazies. I heard Randy Quaid's name, and I'm sure there'll be a host of others. But
Don't forget Caitlin.
Caitlin, too. Yeah, I didn't want to put Caitlin in the crazy side or the
Well, I didn't want to put her in the crazy side either, but we've got a diverse group. Let's put it this way. But I think the key to him is one word or two words: cookie jar.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And that's what I wanted to talk to. I wanted to ask Joseph, too, about when I was taking a look at your website, there were you had 3 areas or 3 points up there
Yes.
that you said were critical to re-energizing California, which is really what we need.
Yeah.
Could you go ahead
Reignite the California spirit.
Reignite, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and talk about those?
Yeah, I want to focus on 3 major points because we need to realize here, first and foremost, this election is taking place in 2021, and whoever wins this election is going to have to re-campaign to win in 2022 for that 4-year term. Let's be honest here. How much do we really think somebody's going to get done in a year? We need to be realistic about that. I think that's why you see a lot of celebrities throwing their names in there. They know this is a great time to make some money, roll in that dough. And I mean, you hear people like Caitlin or Bruce. I'm not sure what we call Caitlin or Bruce in this case because their first thing that they're leading with is that they're a gold medalist. Now, if we're talking identity, who do those gold medals belong to? I'll throw that out there right now. I don't know. I don't know
thought
who.
about that.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Well, it's realistic. I mean, also, I just heard Caitlin. I'll be nice, okay? I just heard Caitlin say, I'm either going to fight for California or I'm going to leave. A person like me, that slaps me right in the face, okay? If you're going to leave, just go ahead and do it. We need people who are going to fight to the death for Californians right now, because if we don't elect somebody that feels that way, it could very well come down to it. Second of all, do we really believe that Caitlin is going to fight for California? Okay? Caitlin's getting very rich off the system, off of the agenda that's rolling all over us right now. Caitlin's living in a mansion in the sunshine, and anytime we're told not to travel, Caitlin can just up and go visit anybody else in their mansion in any sunshine that they want to. Okay? Do we really believe that Caitlin's going to step up and fight and change what's going on in California right now? I don't think anybody does. I think the people that will vote for Caitlin are the people who just sit there and listen.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point too, because not so much just to attack Caitlin, but I saw there was she'd made a comment the other day that she was in her airplane hangar, and her neighbor in his hangar was packing up to leave California. And it was like, it's like the point you just made. Some of these people are so out of touch, like Gavin Newsom. Yeah. I mean, these people are nowhere near in touch with the average Californian or what's going on out here.
Yeah.
And I think it's when you're that far removed, I think it's hard to see, what's happening. Even if I give Gavin Newsom the benefit of the doubt, which I hate to do, because I don't think he's that honest. I don't think he's that honest. But even if he wanted to be, I mean, how difficult is it for somebody like that to see what everyday people are dealing with out here?
Absolutely. That is a huge part of it. Okay, that's a huge part of what's going on in our society from top to bottom. I don't mind people getting rich in our society. I think that's part of what makes our society great, is that people can, reach whatever height they want to. Okay, but what I have a problem with is when people are so detached. Literally, I mean, people, again, not to harp on Caitlin, but Caitlin lives with her assistant. I'll say her. I'm being nice here, okay? Lives with her assistant from night to night, literally from sun up to sunrise. She is taken care of. Don't have to worry about getting their own meals. Don't have to worry about stocking their own fridge. Don't have to worry about paying their own bills. They don't understand what it is like for the average Californian. So why do you want to step in? You're not an independent person. Maybe you got there independently. Okay, maybe. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But why do you want to step into arena and take away the independence of we, the people who are here making this state great? We pay into the system. When we talk about the government paid for this, the government paid for that, it's the taxpayers who are paying into that. Eventually the well runs dry if you want to choke off the producers here in our economy, our industry, our society.
Well, see, and that's what gives you, I think, a better perspective, too, because you were telling me earlier that, and I think it's on your website, too, your family was in the restaurant business, owns a restaurant here in San Diego, or owned a restaurant here in San Diego, and that industry has been one of the hardest hit industries in the past year with all these outrageous, over-the-top regulations and things like that. Many have been driven out of business. And, again, I think it gives you really good perspective, coming from that background, to be able to see, okay, what can the government really do as opposed to, hurting people the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another trigger area for me right there, because it's, people like Kevin Faulconer will step up and come up with a little plan that looks really nice, and be the restaurant candidate. Okay, but Kevin Faulconer is just campaigning to Democrats right now. Democrats in LA, Democrats in San Francisco, running the Univision cycle, running the pro-sanctuary cycle. They're not.
We're gonna have to take a quick break, but you know what? You really, I love what you're saying, because you kind of remind me of Trump. You're coming in with no strings attached. You're not, having to deal with anybody. You are yourself. We just got to figure out a way to everybody get behind you and beat down the Faulconers and the Caitlins, who have got this already man-made machine to crush anybody and everybody. And I got a feeling we're going to be able to change that. I just had to say it. And my next comment's going to come up in the next segment. All right, turn the page, Dave. Get all excited here. Hey, we are so proud to partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community, to provide a nationwide network of 2A advocates, offer elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors, and provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. Learn more about them at nationalconcealedcarryassociation.com. We have a very special guest in the house. Joe, I'll let you reintroduce.
Yes, we've got gubernatorial candidate Joseph Luciano here with us today, so in studio.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
So, Joe, continue what we were talking about. Segue off a little bit. We are a gun show, so we might as well ask that question.
All
to
right.
get
I was
this out
waiting
of the
for
way.
that.
So, guns, Second Amendment. What's your background, if any, with shooting or with the Second Amendment or anything like that?
I have a Glock 19. That is really it. That is all I keep myself and my family safe with. I haven't been shooting since 2019 over there at Balboa, the San Diego gun range.
Oh, the gun range, San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I fully believe that the Second Amendment is the only gun legislation that we need. I spend my time with people who keep many guns, and I know that if the storm ever comes, I'm going to have plenty of guns to be shooting in the right direction.
Well, you don't have to have an arsenal of guns
Right.
to believe in the Second Amendment rights.
And that's exactly right. And we need to start realizing that we have to fight this fight for freedom with people who fully, right here I'm in a room with people who I don't know how many guns you have, probably plenty, right?
No, I'm like you. I've got a shotgun and a pistol
Yeah.
because I live in Alpine.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I've got. He's got 4,892. She's got 10,057.
I don't have that many. I
And
only have
she's
3.
got one.
Yeah,
And
she's really good with
Quite
it.
opposites.
One on me right now.
And that's my point is we all have our passions, and I feel like all of our passions are being attacked by the government in one way or another right now. And if we don't all take the time to stand by each other, there's a few things that we don't want to stand by, right? But I think that right there, our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, our Fifth Amendment, those are the things that we absolutely need to stand by. The people whose passions are covered by the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. I think that covers what we, the people of California, think of as acceptable.
So you support the Constitution. That's a refreshing
That's
change here.
refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of my promises is to take a stand at the governor's seat. Any bill that the deep state legislators want to put across my desk right now that is encroaching on any amendment, I'm going to shoot down immediately. That certainly stands for the Second Amendment. That certainly stands for any gun legislation whatsoever. Because as I said, I do think the Second Amendment is the only gun legislation we need. That doesn't mean I'm going to go through and reverse everything. I am going to look for legislators who want to do that, but that does mean I am going to take a stand and not sign into law any more gun legislation acts, any more gun bills that they pass across the governor's desk in California.
I think Ursula wants to say something, so you have to jump over there, kiddo.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to know. I think you actually just touched on it, on reversing some of the stuff that's already hindering Californians. Mind you, I'm from out of state. I'm from Arizona. So it's pretty much coming from a free state, and every time I come over here, I'm like, man, it's like kind of like Harriet Tubman when they're free the slaves. Like, hey, look, I can show y'all a better way, but therefore I don't live here. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that's affecting Californians is going to be the registry, the registration, the constant government overreach into their personal safety.
Absolutely.
So, like,
As a governor, it's my understanding that I can veto anything that comes across my desk. It's my understanding that I do not have legislative power. So I can certainly go in and I can make orders to waive sanctions momentarily. And if we, the people, are behind certain orders, I will do that. I want to try to perform as few actions as what has been getting us into hot water, which is, governors just making up their own mind. So that being said, I'm not just going to go through and make up my own mind about every gun law. But I do know for a fact that I can veto anything that comes across my desk. And I do know that I'll be working with local communities, going to gun ranges, finding the people who are ready to advocate to reverse the laws that are choking us off here in California right now.
Well, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that's great because that brings up another issue out there with, the Republicans. When I've asked Republican leaders, when I talk to Brian Jones and some of these people about what's the plan for regaining control in California, because the Republicans are a super minority in Sacramento right now. There's a ton of just unhappy people up here because Governor Newsom has been so bad, and the stuff that's gone on with COVID. I think almost 500,000 people or Democrats signed that recall petition. So the state is ripe for the Republicans to move in and say, hey, there's an alternative. You don't have to keep voting for these same people. And when I asked the Republican leaders, I talked to them, what's the plan for approaching these people and trying to get some of this back, some of these voters back? Nobody has a plan.
Oh yeah.
So
they're getting rich.
Right.
Well,
so
there
what,
you go.
what
You
is-
hit it right on the head.
Yeah,
So
no,
what is your
there is
plan?
no
That's what I wanted to
California
ask.
GOP. There is no California GOP. That's the bottom line. There's Republicans here, but as far as what conservatives stand for, as far as the values that conservatives have, there is nobody who is actually making a stand for that in California that's a member of the California GOP.
So how are you going to fight that? Because you talk about David and Goliath,
Oh yeah, I've heard that. You're not the only one who's brought that up.
but that's okay. It's
yeah.
a challenge.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a challenge. But my personal belief is that there's a wall right now that's called the media that's being built between all of us. So my plan is to try to avoid those deep state institutions as much as possible. It's like a casino. The house always wins. You got to walk around that. That's the wall. I'm here right now just trying to talk to the people because this is where you can hear my voice. We can all talk honestly. You can hear my sincerity.
Right.
Well, and that's exactly right, because that's what President Trump did. President Trump went around the media and he connected with the people. And out here, if Michael Schwartz were here today, what he would say is the answer is to get the correct people in office to get them elected, and you need to get to the people to do that. And because the challenge you're going to have up there is, because of the legislature, I think you can veto things, but I think they can override vetoes. And the real answer is to get these people out of office, and the answer to that is for the Republican Party to connect with the voters and start pulling these people back over, because there's a lot out there, but they need a plan to do that.
And they need a leader.
Well, yeah, and that's
They
what I'm
need
saying.
somebody that because I think you're right. The Republicans are almost as bad as the Democrats. There is no Republican Party. So they've just fallen back, became complacent, taken as much money as people will give them. Mm-hmm. And they're just – I do another show in the first hour, and it's Off-Road Coalition. They're trying to keep the deserts open, trying to keep the beaches open. Pismo Beach, they're trying to shut that down because of Shea Homes put a bunch of $1 million homes in there, and they blame it on the off-roaders, which that was given to us years ago. So I'm a real proponent to giving California back to California.
Absolutely.
And get as many of these politicians out of office, because what goes on in California will go on throughout the rest of the states if they allow it.
Absolutely. New York was attacked by the deep state. That's when I joined the war. I was 16 years old. I saw those towers fall. You had to start paying attention, that day.
Yeah.
And now you look at New York, you look at California, you see the media turning, public opinion against New York and California, like left and right every day. Every station you turn to, that's all it is. But the day that those towers fell in New York, we were all waving the flag. In New York, they were all waving the flag. That was America's city. But the deep state media completely took it over. The fraud completely took it over. The voting fraud completely took it over.
Yep.
And now we think that there's nothing but anti-Americans in New York. But I know that's not the case. And these small states, they have to see that this is completely coming their way if they don't make a stand with us right now. But nobody's coming to save us. Californians need to realize this. Nobody's coming to save
You're
us.
exactly right. And I'll tell you another thing, and this is personal. I voted for Trump. I was a strong Republican. I sent money all the time. I stopped. I send letters in all the time. Said,
Likewise.
you're not getting another dime until you straighten this state out. You need to let people know where they can help you, because I think if they find there's somebody out there with a light at the end of the tunnel, I would be honored to be able to help send you money. I don't have bucket loads. I work for this place. But
Every dollar helps.
Well, and that's
the
really what
thing.
it amounts
Every
to.
dollar is going to help. If we the people want to do this, we can. I got to buy billboard space. I got to buy commercial space if I want to compete with these big dogs. That's just the way it is.
well, the main thing is you're already doing it, and that's getting into the community.
Right.
Because, all the big politicians, they just call up their buddies and say, send me 10,000, send me 15,000, send me what have you.
Yep.
But
Call up the deep state.
Yeah, but if you bang on doors and get involved in the community and start here, it'll spread. Trust me.
Absolutely. On that note, please, josephluciano.com. LUCIANO. josephluciano.com. Thank you.
Are you a one-man band right now?
I started off as a one-man band, but, Gail's my personal assistant right now. I've got a small team of private sector individuals that I'm putting together as a campaign team. I'm trying to avoid the Republican Party.
That's
I've
so
had
cool.
my discussions with them, and, it's immediately they want to do everything for you. They want to write all your speeches.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they just
That's how they get you.
They get you feeling just great. All the society loves you. We the people are behind you. They make you feel like you're doing a good thing for the society just by not using your own voice to testify.
Well, you've got a war ahead of you.
Oh yeah.
But you look like you're up to it. And now that I know you got Gail, oh boy, they're in serious trouble.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.